Hey, boys and girls, it's Uncle Doug. Let me turn the lights on here. Well, that helps a little. Oh, that's better. Well, get that on here. Hello, it's Uncle Doug coming to you from my little office here at the thrift store ministry headquarters community storehouse in Excelsior Springs, Missouri, which is on the north side of Kansas City. Get some stuff out of the way here. Oops, that's an important message I have to find. Hold on. Sorry about that. Well, welcome. The chat is on. We're available. Cindy is out running around. One of the guys broke his leg and is going in for some emergency surgery. I'm going to turn this fan off. Nope. Nope. There it is. 5 people. Sandy Comstock, God bless you. First one. How about that? H. Harder. Good evening, Uncle Doug. Well, good evening. Yeah, it's about 6 o'clock. We are on the home stretch of the day, the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles. Raise your hand if you know what the Feast of Tabernacles is. There are 3 main feasts that the Lord prescribed that you are supposed to make a pilgrimage to Jerusalem: Passover, Pentecost, and Tabernacles. It's also called the Feast of Booths, during which you would build a chuppah, a little wooden booth, and they got rules for what you use and how you do it, and put leaves on the roof, and you would build it behind your house or out in the field. And it's a week to not go to synagogue. You stay in the little booth, the tent, with your family, take communion, sleep under the stars, remember what it was like for the children of Israel to follow God around in the desert. They didn't wander, they followed him, and he was a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, and when he moved, everybody picked up and moved with him. Great big millions of people. And they weren't lost in the desert. They didn't wander. They moved deliberately wherever he told them to move. And their shoes didn't wear out. Their animals didn't miscarry. And he provided food and met all of their needs. And not very many of their wants, but all their needs. Anyway, so he calls us during the Feast of Tabernacles to remember that kind of dependence, that kind of childlike faith, to just follow him around and watch him feed you. Manna came down from the sky. Manna is a Hebrew word that means, what the heck is this? What is it? And this white, I don't know, snowflakey, dry stuff came out of the sky, and they said it was the food of angels or food of heaven or whatever you want to call it, but they would grind it up and make flour out of it and make bread out of it or eat it different ways, and till they got sick of it. Well, we have been doing these lives since the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, something like that, when COVID started, as a way to fellowship and give you a place to come together and love one another and pray for one another. And I don't know how, I talk every once in a while about how useful this really is. It did a lot of harm to the channel, frankly, because we were doing this twice a week, and that distracted me from being able to do new content. And the live videos don't help your algorithm really at all. It doesn't get posted in the reminder things on the side. It doesn't really improve your rankings and doesn't particularly get you subscribers, but we've been doing it. And we're trying to get back on track now, get the channel going again. We used to have a lot more traffic, visitors on a daily basis than we do since COVID. But anyway, Barb, hello. I think you and Sandy Comstock would like each other a lot if you reach out to one another. You're remind me a lot of each other. Um, anyway, I got a text. I'm going to read it in a different video about the International House of Prayer. Young man who lived with us, Barb, Sandy Comstock has been here to visit and stayed with us, but she's in Panama at the moment. But she's talked about coming here, getting a house and hanging with us. So we'll see if that ever actually happens. Let's see if I can find this thing here. Whoo! Coupons. Um, maybe I should save this for. I'll just save this for IHOP video. It's a young man that stayed with us a few years ago, and he'd been in and out of other ministries, including IHOP, and he kind of left here. I don't remember us putting him out. I think we waited very patiently while he worked out his issues, but we. I think we waited very patiently while he worked out his issues, but we. He did sort of get in my grill and chest bump me. Probably 2000. I don't know, 9, 10, 11, somewhere around in there. And 10 probably. I don't remember if Cindy was here or not. She would remember, but she's out running a kid. One of the guys is having surgery on his foot, broke his foot. And anyway, they took off out of here, and he wrote me a very contrite, very apologetic message confessing that I was right all along, that he was hurt by my opinions about Mike Bickle at the time, but everything I said was true, and now he sees it and he's really sorry and whatever. What's a chest bump look like? Well, it could just be getting up in my face. Nobody here is God. You're nobody. You're not you're nothing. And one guy's like, Dr. Michael Brown's the only anointed person I ever have known. You're nothing. Nobody here is God. Nobody here, whatever. Lived with us and kept living with us for another year after that kind of conversation, which I'm not sure I know very many pastors that will let you get up in their face and say that kind of stuff and then continue to live with them for another year with that attitude. Anyway, he left here finally saying, well, Doug, look, I'll give you, you're not a cult, because I could never have said to you the things I said and you'd be a cult leader. And so don't worry about me calling you a cult. And then he left, and 3 months later is posting on Facebook that we're a cult. Anyway, this particular is posting on Facebook that we're a cult. Anyway, this particular brother, we're having one of our weekly meetings and had just had dinner, and we were in this little school, and there was cafeteria where we had tables, and there was a bunch of sectional furniture and chairs, and would all sit and kind of circle the chairs and have our meeting. And he came in and stood up on the table, rebuking me. You're wrong. You're deceived. You're the devil. Rah, 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 rah. And then yelling at me in tongues, rebuking me in the name of Jesus. And we're like, okay, are you done now? We got stuff to do going. And he stayed here months after that, as I recall. And didn't come to the meetings, just very dramatically, and doing a lot of infighting and trying to turn people against. And didn't come to the meetings, just very dramatically, and doing a lot of infighting and trying to turn people against. And he wrote me a very mature, conciliatory apology message now, 10, 14, whatever years later it's been. That anyway, it's really sweet. But I'm gonna do a video about it and leave his name off of it. But anyway, I've had people physically sort of chest about me, like they want to try and pick a fight with me and get me to swing on them, or trying to take over the whole ministry and tell me it's theirs and I needed to go away because God had given up on me and I'd missed the boat and they're in charge now. And I'm like, if you're in charge, why aren't you acting more like Jesus than me? I mean, whoever's got the biggest cup of Jesus is probably the one he's going to put in charge, and you're not acting right at all. Barb, I think your puppies are fine. I don't fiddle with them much, but Barb, I think your puppies are fine. I don't fiddle with them much, but I think they're good. You're gonna have to save up. We're gonna need $42,000 for this. These are such cute puppies. I'm just kidding. James said, hello, called last night for first time. Cindy and Steve were amazing. The Holy Spirit told Steve exactly what was wrong with me, and they both helped strengthen and heal me greatly. Colin. Well, Colin, so in case they didn't tell you, they were in the ER getting Steve's broken leg wrapped up again. So as you're being ministered to and getting a word of knowledge, he has a broken ankle, and it had swelled up because he had stepped on it funny. They went to the doctor yesterday, and the specialist orthopedist that they sent them to, who said, you must immediately come back tomorrow for surgery on this broken ankle. Broke his tibia and his ankle just stepping down the stairs at one of the houses. Just weird. And it's just weird. And so they were supposed to go today for surgery, but then later that day he stepped on something funny, and it was in a soft cast, but it displaced something, and then it started to swell and be really painful. So midnight last night, Cindy went to the ER with Steve, and they had to take the soft cast off, rewrap it, get it lined up again, rewrap it, put the soft cast on so he could go home, just so that this morning they could go down and do the surgery, which I haven't heard. That's where Cindy's at now. I haven't heard how that's gone or the deal is. But it was beautiful and sacrificial and quite something for Steve, who's a beautiful, beautiful big cup of Jesus, to minister to you while he's at the ER. Sandy says, I hope you stay on the live streams. I think you help more people than you realize with your teachings. Also, it's good to be getting worse. We need good teaching. It's going to be getting worse. Yeah, for sure. Also, it's good to be getting worse. We need good teaching. It's going to be getting worse. Yeah, for sure. Worse. We need good teaching. It's going to be getting worse. Yeah, for sure.